When you get promoted to God by Maggie, I guess that does it. We are caterpillars. That's what we are. I mean, most of us, there may be exceptions, most of the time we're caterpillars. We pay attention to just what's right in front of us. We crawl around trying to get food, trying to get what we need, concerned just with what we're dealing with right here, concerned with our own well-being, of just getting by. That little caterpillar movement that just see what's only right here. And you know, it's perfectly okay that we're caterpillars. There's nothing wrong with that. Caterpillars have a place in the plan too, because you see, there is a divine plan. And our being caterpillars is part of that plan. Oh, there is a plan. This universe came about for a purpose. It's not like God was walking around and sort of tripped one day. Oh, there's a universe. Wow, where'd that come from? There was, by the oneness, a proclamation that said there will be this manifest universe. That was done as a purposeful statement to bring forth this manifestation. And that is the divine plan. That is the plan that goes from total oneness into this diversity. The plan that takes the universe to where it's going. Now, we can't really say, why did Divine Spirit do this? There didn't have to be a plan. There didn't have to be a manifest universe. We can't say, why did Divine Spirit do this? But what we can say by our observations is we can say, we know the consequences of this plan. Because what are the consequences of this plan? Experiences. Experiences. The heat, the cold, the pain, the agony, the hate, the joy, the gratitude, the enlightenment, the love. The love is experienced only because we are hidden from the divine. Or rather, the divine is hidden from us. Because you see, this plan took perfect unity when all things were one and drove it forward to make separation, to make the illusion of separation and confusion and diversity. And it's only because of that that there is any experiences, including love. And yet we say it many times, we say, God is love. But is love a thing? Point it out. Where is it? Is love here? Is love there? Love is an activity. Love is a relationship. Love is the relationship between things, between beings. I have a special love for Jean. I have a love for all of you. But this is the love of separation. Because you see, in the original unity, all things were literally, understand this, were one. There was no differentiation. There was no here and there. It was all oneness. And if there is no differentiation, the oneness just is. Divine love is the love between the divine and the manifest reality that we experience. Oh, but man, what experiences. Think about it. Let's become the oneness that manifest, that proclaim this diversity. And what do you experience? From oneness to sudden, the greatest explosion of all time into the Big Bang. And this experience of infinite diversity. The experience oneness has of thousands and thousands of degrees of heat inside a star, to the experience of the unimaginable cold of deep space. The experience, feel it in you, the experience oneness has when a supernova explodes with the energy of literally billions of stars. And yet also the experience of the electron that subtly moves from one atom to another. The experience of going from non-organic matter to the very first life. Can you imagine the experience of when life, very first time, felt something? The experience of when life, for the very first time, heard a sound. Sight, the very first sight. Oneness experiences this. It experiences the thundering of the ground when a 100-ton dinosaur walked. And the experience of the mouse. The little whisker of the mouse moving in the breeze. My gosh, what a world of experience. And you know, you have to think about it. The oneness experiences of humans must seem sort of pale compared to all of that. Now I want to tell you something. Jean makes a wonderful homemade carrot cake. I love it. When she makes carrot cake and I get a piece of that cake, it's great. I don't really think Divine Spirit is probably overwhelmed by that experience. Experiencing the birth of a galaxy with tens, hundreds of millions of stars and planets, and a carrot cake, I don't know. I mean, it's good. Everything we see is amazing in our lives. Everything that's wonderful, everything that's devastating to us is one of an infinite number of experiences of the oneness. And yet, I think there may be a reason why the human experience is special to Divine Spirit. Let me tell you a story about a Buddhist monk hundreds of years ago. And he lived on this mountain with his assistant. And their job was to take care of this bronze Buddha that's set up on top of this small mountain. And they cared for it every day. And over the years in that region, it became really dry. And you know, year after year, the summers got worse. And they started seeing down in the plains these huge sandstorms that would come. And one day, in the middle of one of those storms, this man comes staggering up, and he's just covered in this sand and the abrasions, and he can hardly breathe. And he goes to the priest and says, "Please, please help us. My family is down there, and I can't get them out." And the priest says, "I will go find him and see if I can find him and bring him out." And his assistant says, "I want to go with you. I want to help these people." And the priest said, "No, your job is to take care of that Buddha. You go up there and you polish this bronze Buddha as you do every day." And so the priest went down there, and amazingly he was able to find the family and bring them up. And up on this mountain it was cooler. There was a valley that this family could stay in, you know, until the ecology changed in the area. And several days later there was another storm. And the man told him, he said, "Some people have enough in the reserves. They have some food and water and they can stay in their houses. But others don't because of this drought. And when this horrible drought comes, they come and try to come to the mountain, but they get caught in these storms and die. We saw bodies of people who had died. And so the storm comes, and the priest says, well, I'm going to go back again into this storm and see if people need help. And the assistant said, please let me come. I want to have meaning in my life, and I want to help you. And the priest said, you do have meaning. Your meaning is to care for the Buddha's statue. And so he went up to polish the statue, and the guy goes down, miraculously finds another family and brings them up and saves them. And a few days later it happens again. And then a couple of days later he sees his assistant, and he's very sad and he's very down. And the priest says to him, well, what's wrong? Why are you so upset? And he says, I want to have a meaningful life like you. You go down and save these families, and I just do what I've always done, going up and polishing this bronze Buddha. And the priest says, no, you save lives. Every life I save, you saved, including mine. Because when I go down in those storms are down on the ground, and we're all looking ahead of us, and we can't see anything. But I look up, and I see the bronze Buddha shining, and that's how I get out. And that you do every day is what saves us. Because you see, it wasn't enough for the priest to go out. He had to come back. And I described the oneness plan as a straight line. I said the oneness was unity, and it became diversity like a straight line, except it's not a straight line, it's a circle. The Greeks saw the circle as the perfect form because it was miraculous for the oneness to take total unity, total knowledge, and from that create diversity, create the illusion of separateness and confusion and ignorance. But there's another step in that miracle. Because from that very diversity, unity is being recreated. That's happening now. That is also part of the plan. How do you do that? How do you take diversity and separation and ignorance and recreate unity and perfect knowledge? The way you do it is when the very forms that have been separated start seeing the knowledge, start seeing the unity. The Gospel of Thomas, quoting the Master Jesus, said, when you see what is right in front of your eyes, the mysteries will be revealed. Nothing that is hidden will not be revealed. Nothing that is covered will not be uncovered. And what is happening right now is that the very aspects of diversity are refinding the truth. And that comes from consciousness. That comes from we as human beings. That comes when the caterpillar becomes a butterfly. And all of us will become butterflies. That is the divine plan. You needn't do anything. The divine plan is that the caterpillar becomes a butterfly just as the night becomes day. Now, some of us, that's going to happen in this lifetime because we search for it, because we look for the hidden knowledge, because we look and see the fire and see the light. And when that burns inside us, we feel that. And it lifts us up and transforms us. And all of us will go through that transformation in this life or the next existence, because what is hidden will be revealed. The fire will burn in us, and we will turn from caterpillars into butterflies who will soar into the skies and see the magnificence that is there for us all.
Beautiful, Bob.